Have you ever noticed how a single powerful idea can show up in 1,000 different ways? That's the puzzle we're getting into today. How can so many different forms all point to one single truth? And we're going to explore it through two of the most fascinating figures out there, Hanuman and Rama.
Okay, so right off the bat, we're diving into what seems like a major contradiction. When most of us think of Hanuman, we probably have one specific image in our minds. But that single image, it's hiding a reality that is so much deeper and way more complex.
So, what's the deal? Is he the fierce powerhouse warrior, the loving, humble devotee, or the master yogi in deep meditation? Which one is the real Hanuman? That's the question we're really here to unpack.
To get our heads around this, we've got to totally shift our thinking. See, the point of having all these different divine forms isn't to confuse us. It's actually meant to be a kind of map, a compass for our own consciousness.
I mean, just look at this list. You've got Veera, the warrior, Panchamukha, the five-faced form, Bhakta, the devotee. It kind of looks like a roster of completely different heroes, right? But here's the thing. That's not what's happening at all.
And this is the first big aha moment. The most important thing to get is this. They are not different beings. This isn't a collection of separate individuals. It's one single idea, just expressed in a bunch of different ways.
So if they're not different guys, what are they? Well, think of them as different paths, different methods of approach. It's like there are a bunch of different trails to get to the top of the same mountain. They all lead to the same peak.
So how does this actually work in practice? Well, it's a pretty brilliant system. You start with the form, say the image of warrior Hanuman. That form is there to give your awareness something to hold on to guide it. This creates focus, right? So your devotion doesn't get scattered all over the place. And that focused devotion, well, that becomes the fuel for your whole journey. With that fuel, consciousness, the real destination, finally starts to rise. Each form is just like a riverbank, you know? It's there to keep the water of your practice flowing in the right direction. Okay, so if all these different forms of Hanuman are the rivers, then where are they all flowing to? What's the ocean? That ocean? It's a concept called RAMA. And let's be super clear. We're not just talking about a king from an ancient story here. This is a much bigger philosophical idea. RAMA is the principle of perfect balance and cosmic order, but made conscious. It's basically Dharma, the universal law, in living form.
So try to picture Rama in this sense as the absolute center of everything, like the still, quiet axle that the entire chaotic wheel of life spins around. He is that silent law that holds the universe together, a state where truth, duty, compassion, all of it all exists in perfect harmony with zero conflict. That's the goal. That's the ocean we're talking about.
All right, so if Rama is the destination, the ocean, where does Hanuman fit into all this? This is where it all clicks together so perfectly. This really lays it out for us. You've got Hanuman on one side, the perfect path. He's all about strength without ego, action without getting attached to the results. And then on the other side, you have Sri Rama, the absolute center, the destination. He's Dharma embodied, that still axis. Simply put, Hanuman is the how, Rama is the what. And that brings us to a really powerful kind of non-negotiable point. A Hanuman who does not lead to Rama is no longer Hanuman. Think about that. A path that doesn't actually take you to the destination, it's useless, right? It's a dead end. So any practice, any form of Hanuman that loses sight of that final principle, it's missed the entire point. It's not the real deal anymore.
Now, this all sounds great, but let's be real. This journey is not a walk in the park. There is one huge, massive roadblock that gets in the way for pretty much everyone. And it's the very thing that Hanuman completely mastered.
Our minds, our egos, they just love to slap labels on things, don't they? To create ranks and argue about who's better. This leads to what this philosophy calls horizontal arguments. You know the type, debating which form is stronger, which practice is superior, my way is better than your way. But all of that is just a distraction. The real journey, the truth, it's always vertical. It's about moving inward, moving upward, not arguing sideways.
So what was Hanuman's secret? How did he become so powerful, so wise? It all boiled down to one single, incredibly profound realization. I am nothing. Rama is everything. That's it. That's the whole secret sauce, the complete and total surrender of the personal self, the I.
And here's the beautiful paradox in all of this. Giving up his eye didn't make him weak. It didn't turn him into some pushover. It was the very thing that made him invincible. See, by emptying himself of his own ego, he became a perfect open channel for the infinite power of the universe, a perfect channel for Dharma itself.
Okay, so let's tie all these threads together. This incredible story of a path and a destination, it's not just about Hanuman and Rama. It actually reveals a universal blueprint for the spiritual journey itself.
And you can apply this spiritual blueprint to almost any tradition. It really works like this. First, you have a form, right? A visual guide, like Hanuman's image. This inspires a discipline, a focused practice like selfless service. That practice leads to purification, which is really just the dissolving of the ego. From there, you achieve alignment, becoming centered on that higher principle. And the final step? The merger. This is where you don't just follow the principle anymore. You become it. You live as Dharma.
And this completely flips our usual idea of what liberation means. For Hanuman, reaching the final goal, merging with the ocean, it isn't about vanishing or disappearing into nothingness. It's about becoming an expression of limitless, selfless service. And that leaves us with a fascinating final thought, doesn't it? Maybe the true goal of it all isn't to escape the world, but to become a perfect, powerful instrument for good within it.